Welcome to the Marine Corps Movie Minute. We are currently in the midst of breaking down Heartbreak Ridge, and we finally reached minute 44. Minute 44 begins with an orgasmic Gunny highway affecting his platoon, and it ends with some repelling. I am Brian Lockhart,
I'm Jack Perry.
and how you doing today, Jack?
I am doing fantastic.
Yeah, me too.
Hanging out with my pal, watching the movie.
Watching Heartbreak Ridge.
Yeah, 1 minute, over and over and over.
It's more efficient that way.
Yeah, it seems to work.
Pretty much start with a fresh scene. And that's Gunny. He goes up, let's see. Who is it he at first goes up to? I believe it is Aponte. He goes up and he's like, "Oh yeah." And then he goes to Collins and he touches him and he says, "Yeah." And then he goes up to Fregetti and he hits him slick. He is so pleased with their high and tights. He's almost like, "Oh yeah." This is how Marines are supposed to look. I love it.
Yeah. Hell, even Stitch got his hair cut. So yeah, so I guess you were right. The next day.
They didn't do the whole stripes thing where everybody like John Candy came out completely buzzed.
Yeah.
And then Bill Murray and Hal Ramis came out with a nice trim.
Yeah. Which doesn't happen, folks. It just
No.
doesn't happen.
So when you're the star of the movie, but
Yeah.
everybody gets a high and tight, even Stitch Jones.
Yeah.
I noticed that when after Gunny's taken his place at the front of the platoon, yeah, everybody's looking pretty normal as far as Marines. They're online, they're at attention, they're face forward, they're being fairly disciplined. Aponte never moves his body, but he looks like he's pissed off.
Oh yeah.
You notice Keone's he moves his head and starts following Gunny around, and then Stitch, he's got his hands on his hip like, "Fuck you."
Yeah, he's all pissed off, the perpetually aggrieved.
And Fregetti has his sleeves rolled up like he's got a pack of smokes rolled up in him or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Now,
Oh well.
after Gunny inspects the haircuts, he takes a big deep breath and he's like, smells like he goes, did he say about them looking like models here? Yeah,
No, that was in the first scene. No, you ladies look nice.
yeah, that's right. But he smells it. He goes, it smells like a Bengay factory here. I had to look up what Bengay was. For those who don't know what Bengay is, it's Bengay, formerly spelled as BEN-GAY before 1995, is a topical heat rub applied to temporarily relieve muscle and joint pain associated with arthritis, bruises, simple backaches, sprains, and strains. Very similar to Icy Hot.
You didn't know what Bengay was?
No, I knew exactly what Bengay was.
Oh, I was like, what the fuck, man?
No, okay. Because I was going to bring up, and I apologize if this offends anybody. I'm merely speaking of something that was said as a child. You would go up to somebody and say, "How long have you been gay?"
Oh.
You never heard that joke before?
No.
I mean, it kind of writes itself.
Yeah. The best ones usually do.
I will say, of course, I knew what that was. I just know it's basically Icy Hot type thing.
Okay, yeah. Well,
But I was, our listeners, we have listeners from
all walks.
Yes.
Gotcha.
But I did want to know what some history behind it. So Bengay was developed in the Third French Republic by Jules Bengay or something. Probably it's Bengue with a little apostrophe over it.
French.
I couldn't put the accent on that guy's name, but it was Americanized to Bengay, and he brought it to America in 1898.
Like a menthol rub.
Yep, and it was Pfizer used to own it, and now Johnson & Johnson does. And it's the product is advised to be used topically for adults and children aged 12 years of age and older, and no more than 3 to 4 times a day. That's really, I mean, I can tell you how to be stored temperature-wise if you need to, but I think we covered it.
Yeah. I got a quick, somewhat humorous anecdote about, I think it's either Bengay or Icy Hot. when I was a kid, I pulled a muscle in my back or something, and mom.
Did the nerds put it in your jock strap when you're
No, no, close, close, close.
nerds?
Yeah, I yeah, so I pulled a muscle in my back, and mom rubbed down with either icy hot or Bengay or whatever, and it was fucking hot. And I was like, man, I need this off of me, and I went and got in the shower. Bad idea.
Yeah, that makes it worse, doesn't it? The water.
No, no, yeah, well, only that, but it got wet and it ran down the crack of my
Oh.
ass. Oh no. Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Rough seas ahead, folks.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now talking about giving you a case of the red ass.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, it was yeah. So I yeah. Don't wash that shit off. Just write it out,
Yeah, just
or just don't be a pussy to begin with.
well, there's that, but just get a washcloth next time.
Yeah. 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 Also, nobody cares.
Right. I care. That's funny. I care. I got a question. I tried and I failed. I went to our listeners society quarter deck and asked for help. That also failed.
Thanks, guys.
Right. I half expect somebody to come up with the explanation 20 minutes after we're done recording, and it'll be too late.
Yeah.
There's a guy next to Lance Corporal Forgetti. He's on screen left, right in front of, just to the left of Gunny Highway, right in front of Profile.
Mhm.
I think he's a real Marine, but actually, I have a theory he might actually be a corpsman. I'm not sure.
Oh, was that the? Oh, yeah, I saw it when you posted that up. Yeah. Okay.
You see, he's got something stenciled on his PT gear, his shorts. Nobody else does. I mean, none of the actors do for sure. None of the other Marines, they don't have it. He's the only one. He's got his it looks like a scuba bubble. I think it's jump wings. It's hard to
Yeah.
tell, but it really looks like it is because it's like these are the khaki, tan kind of shorts,
Right.
and it's in black. And then underneath it, it says nail. I
Yeah.
tried to I was trying to think, I'm like, is this like Navy something? I had no idea. And I was trying to think, I'm like, what is distinguishes this guy from everybody else?
Yeah.
Let's just say anytime you put nail in there, it just was like nail polish, nail regulations for
Hmm.
uniform. I was like, holy shit, I can't. I mean, this is no good. I tried to, I tried a couple different search engines. So if anybody out there listening knows what I'm talking about, knows why there might be something to distinguish this particular person from the rest of the platoon. My only theory is that it's the corpsman, so they know it's him.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. I mean, it seems possible. I mean, and they don't. I don't know, man. That.
It'd be one thing if it was like back then everybody stenciled their damn shorts but none of the other Marines have it. So I can't be like, well, it's because it's only him. So like what makes him stand out? And that's my only theory is that he's maybe the corpsman.
Yeah. Yeah. And that seems to be the most. It seems to be the most logical.
It's an educated guess at best.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
anybody's listening, if anybody knows, please, just shoot us a line, drop us a line, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Gmail, whatever. I'm curious. I just don't know. But I thought it was interesting. So before they get to the rappel range, Gunny's wearing a red Marine Corps shirt with a yellow bulldog. I can hear you typing away trying.
Yeah. I know. I'm on a mission.
Hey man, more power to you. I'll just continue the minute.
No, I'm paying attention. I'm doing a little bit of multitasking.
They're wearing the whole platoon's wearing green. Gunny's wearing he's boots and utes, and he's got a red shirt on. So he tells them to strip it off, and they're like, "Well, we're all wearing this. We're all the same." That's a profile objected to that, and Gunny's same as me. Forget he's
Yeah.
like, how the hell are we supposed to know this? He said because he says it. You improvise, you overcome, and adapt.
Yep.
And I noticed that now that's one of the famous lines of this movie, and it comes up more than once. But I always say it is improvise, adapt, overcome. And so I'm wondering now. I'm trying to think. Am I misremembering?
No, he transposed the two words.
He said it, but he says it both ways, doesn't he?
Yeah,
I
yeah, he
think
does.
he says it about 3 times in the movie.
Yeah,
I think he says it twice the way I just said, and I think he says it this once where he flips it around. Because to me, if you think about it, improvise, adapt, and overcome makes more sense than improvise, overcome, and adapt.
yeah.
You improvise, which leads to adapting your situation, which then leads to overcome, which then leads to fear, and then leads to suffering. And that's the path of the dark side.
Yes, it is.
So they all strip it off, and except for Gunny, they right face and they take off PTing.
Yep, they go run some more.
Yep, lots of running.
Lots more run-ins.
Gunny looks like to me, he looks like a boot camp DI.
Yeah,
They sometimes wore those kind of covers. A lot of times they didn't. They either just didn't wear a cover, or if they weren't wearing their campaign covers.
yeah. I think the only reason why, well, I guess he would be wearing his because he's saluting in formation.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, and he's technically like he's doing boots and utes, and I do recall. I swear there must have been a time or two that we. No, I swear when we ran in boots and utes, we didn't have our covers on.
No, no, we did not.
Yeah, it was no cover. It was a t-shirt, and it was
Yeah.
boots and cami bottoms, and then usually you had what not the what is it where you have the little heart and then you got the belt,
Oh, your deuce gear?
the web gear. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You would have that sometimes. So you could have your canteens when you ran. You know, we've done that. We've done
Yeah.
it both ways. Like when you're running with your rifle, then you'll have the little web gear or the deuce gear, or whatever you want to call it. And then we've also just ran in boots and utes where it's like, well, we're just gonna run. For PT, just for quote unquote fun.
Yeah.
So we cut to the repelling tower. It's about 40 seconds into 35 seconds into the minute. They cut to the repelling tower with a nice sign that says repelling tower, and you see some Marines going down the repelling. Is they got two going down the wall, the big wall, and one going down from the helo, like they're simulating doing a helicopter repelling. We did that in boot camp at Paris Island. Did you do the same thing?
Yeah. I almost landed on top of a DI. I could no, it was the fast roping where you wrap the rope underneath your ass and you kind of give it some slack and you slide down it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we were doing God, that shit was a lot of fun, man. I really had a lot of fun doing it. It was a shame they only let us do it like once or twice.
Yeah, I think we did a total of three times, but it was all different variations of repelling. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It
Yep.
was yeah. All right. So, anyways, go ahead.
Oh no. So yeah, so we're doing the fast rope thing and was sliding down and I could hear one of the DIs from one of the other platoons yelling and I was having fun and I was zooming down. I completely forgot where the fuck I was at. And I stopped and the rope got tight and stretched and boink and the little just the most bottomest part of my ass bumped something. And I looked down and it was the DI's cover.
Oh no.
Oh, he was pissed.
So let's see. You
Oh,
stepped on a DI's core frame.
yeah. Damn near fucking bombed one of them. Oh,
That's funny.
good shit. Yeah. But yeah, that stuff is fun, man. Folks, if you ever have a chance to go rappelling, you ought to give it a shot. It's a lot of fun.
I'm not exactly a fan of heights. I'm not really afraid of them, but I'm also not comfortable around them.
Yeah.
And but I wasn't really too nervous to do it. The one I liked the most, surprisingly, was when you faced the ground and walk forward down the rappelling tower.
They wouldn't let us do that.
Oh, we did that, and and that's the one I went fairly fast on, and
Yeah.
I liked it. You know what? I actually was more comfortable doing that, even though it seemed way more dangerous
Yeah.
than going backward. Um, the one that got me was doing the helicopter rappel because they show, the DIs demonstrate everything before you do it. Just
Right.
first off, so you know how to do it properly. But secondly, you know you're not going to get hurt. They demonstrate you fucking up and how they were going to protect you. and there's
Right.
somebody, I forget what they called them, but somebody holds the rope at the bottom. They pull it tight, and it keeps you from falling.
Yep. Yeah.
And one of the DIs did the helicopter one, and he just completely jumped and completely let go, and they cinched the rope, and he, he came close to hitting the ground, but he didn't, and they were like, I mean, he just went full blown. That was my DI demonstrating it, okay, or one of them. So here we flash forward, I'm like, I'm nervous, but I do it, and the first rappel, then forward, fast forward, face forward rappel, which I loved. I'm like, this is great. I can't wait to do it again. So go to do the helicopter rappel. Of course, there's no wall under there. You have to just jump out, and they're and they
Yeah.
these are not DIs that are cinching you up and making sure in charge of the rappel tower.
It's your fellow recruits.
No, 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 no. It was they had like people who were responsible for that there.
Oh.
Kind of like when you have marksman instructors at the rifle range. They have combat hitting instructor. They're not the DIs. They're the every day they that's their duty station. That's their job.
Oh.
So they were there, and whatever, they hook you up and they tell you to go, and they're like, jump way out, jump far out. But the DIs are down there cinching the ropes and stuff. And so I jump way out, and I start to slide, but I panic a little. Not panic. I wouldn't say I panic, but I put the brake on because you can put the brake on by basically grabbing your butt and closing your fist around the rope at your butt. So that caused me to swing underneath like the fake helicopter landing gear,
Oh.
like and I was about to hit it, and I quick let go. And I went straight down. And of course, just as I was about to get to the bottom, start breaking, and my DI was there holding the rope, and of course he starts pulling a little bit, and he's like, "Lockhart, what the fuck was that?" He goes, basically, I can't remember the exact words he said, but it was basically something to the effect of, "Why were you being a pussy? I was gonna catch you if you know." Like this, and the thing is, I mean, I almost hit my head on that.
He gave someone a concussion.
Yeah, and I was like, I saw myself swinging back, and I just let go, and I'm like, now I didn't land on anybody when I got on the ground. So I got one up on you on that one.
Yeah. Oh, Gunny's shirt is the same Marine Bulldog, but the backside and his balls.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Uh, they don't make
That's
those anymore.
No, I don't think so. You might get the front, and that's it.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed before, so really we just see Marines repelling, but what we then see is for our movie is Stitch Jones and Aponte are discussing. He's like, "Are you sure you want to get away with this? You could get away with this with Taylor."
Right.
So they're obviously discussing something, some sort of plan Aponte has that he used to get over on. We finally get the name of the last platoon sergeant before
The one
Gunny
that,
Highway. The one,
right. Yeah, the one that went road.
right? Basically, Stitch is warning Aponte, "This dude's fucking crazy. You're not going to get away with. We don't know what it is yet."
No.
Aponte tells him not to worry about it. So that's our two Marines. Now there's a staff sergeant.
Gunny.
Oh, he is a gun. He's got two. Yeah, I can see it right there. I
He
wrote
might
staff sergeant.
actually. Yeah, I think he's a Gunny, but because I just see the two rockers, but he could even be a master sergeant because you can't really tell. I couldn't see where the rifles were.
No, no, he's a gunny. I just paused it.
Okay.
There's a gunny there. That's good catch because I only saw the one, and I wrote staff sergeant. He's got his rank on his collar.
And the other ones don't. I've been looking for it. I've been looking because I keep thinking that it's Corporal Jones.
Yeah, and it is. I can confirm that it's in IMDb. I've seen
Okay.
it elsewhere, and I know later it's referred to. And I made note before when I was talking about when Aponte got the job. Now I can't think of his real name. He was a corporal in like another production that he had done,
Ah.
and now he was a PFC, and they made light that even though he got demoted, he was happy for the job.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I was looking at first I was like, oh, maybe he's a private and he doesn't have it. I said, no, he's a PFC, so he should have something. And of course, Stitch has nothing.
Yeah.
The only thing he has is a band-aid over his ear.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm wondering if it's just a missed actor thing, if it's because they were doing the repelling thing, they didn't want any extra stuff on. Although I swear he's got I thought one of them had a watch on. No, that's actually the gunny.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye out to see if there's any insignias on any of the other Marines later,
Yeah.
because obviously we don't get anything while they're in PT gear. Now, as the minute ends, as Stitch kind of retorts to Aponte, what do you say the Marines, the few, the
The
proud,
proud, the
the
chumps.
chumps, and then with a smile and he repels down. Minute ends. I use that line all the time. The few, the proud, the chumps.
Yep.
I've used that so many times. So I had to look it up. I did try to look up the few, the proud, the chumps. The only thing I could find was a posting on. Let's see, what was it? A posting on a Ford Explorer, a message board. It was a Ford Explorer message board, and somebody posted an article back from the early 2000s when some Marines at Camp Lejeune, I think it was Lejeune, got busted for drugs. They had a whole like drug ring going on there,
Oh,
and
wow.
so they called it the few, the proud, the chumps. Uh, but that's obviously a play on the few, the proud, the Marines.
Yep.
Now, at first, it was an older campaign recruiting slogan that was like it had the few in it, but not.
Yeah.
I forget what it said. I'll skip
Looking
past it.
for a few good men.
That's it. The Marines are thank you. Thank you. I'll leave it in now. Because you pull my ass out of the fire on that one. Yeah, the Marines are looking for a few good men. So the few, the proud, the Marines was a play on that. They shortened it. They added the proud.
Right.
It's been used since. So the saying is the few, the proud, the Marines, and it's been used by the Marine Corps on and off since 1977. It actually it's so kind of prominent and it's such a good slogan
Yeah.
that it won a place on Madison Avenue's advertising Walk of Fame during Advertising Week in 2007. It's one of those, hey, we're proud of this one. And it's a good one. I mean,
Yeah.
it's pretty simple and it gets the point across.
And it's also true.
Yeah, and that's what it says. Like, so this is what when it was dedicated, Major General Richard T. Tryon, kind of like Brian, but spelled it. But anyways, Major General Richard T. Tryon. He said this slogan reflects the unique character of the Marine Corps and it underscores the high caliber of those who join and serve their country as Marines. I did see another thing where somebody just was just a like those Quora like pages or ask or what is it like when you just Google something and it's like
Ah.
how long does bread last and somebody
Yeah.
answered. It was somebody asked what does that mean? The few, the proud. It's like well the Marines come from all walks of life so, in all different geographical locations within the U.S., and so there's only a few from each place. You'll ever get a few from let's say, any given state actually volunteer, and then even fewer actually make it. So
Right.
that's what the few. The proud is, well, we're proud to
Yeah.
serve our country, and you earn the title, so we're proud of that. And then, of course, the Marines means, well, we earned the title.
Yep.
So I mean, it was pretty. It's basically what the commanding general said. It was just kind of more of a layman's terms.
Yeah.
But I got nothing else.
No, no, I think we pretty much covered everything.
All right. Well, you got anything else before we go? Before we wrap it up, and
No, I think Gunny still has Sergeant Major Chuzu's truck.
you're probably not wrong because in fact, I know you're right. Because
No, you see it at the beginning of the minute.
yeah, yeah, I think it's outside the Quonset huts there still.
Yep.
All right, Barry. Well, we'll just ask everybody to come back. We'll do minute 45, and just remember, we're the few, the proud, the
The
chumps.
Marines.